Hi guys, my name is Tomcat, and today we are back in Forza Horizon 4 for a brand new episode of Stock vs. Tuned. Now, in this episode, we're going to be covering a requested topic that was requested actually not on YouTube, not on Twitter, not on Instagram, but actually in person, and I'm not going to say who requested it because I don't know if they would want me to, or I don't know if they, would want to keep themselves anonymous or not. But what we are going to do is we are going to race a modified GT3RS that is fully built NA against a stock Koenigsegg 1-to-1, which should be a really interesting thing. It should be a really interesting thing to see if a fully built NA GT3RS can even get close to what a Koenigsegg 1-to-1 can do through the speed trap. Now, like I said, if the person that requested this is watching it, they know who they are. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and grab the Koenigsegg 1-to-1, head to the highway, see what it will post through the speed trap, and then we'll send the stock 2019 RS through the speed trap, then we'll modify it and see what it can do. Now, I personally don't think the RS is going to win, but we'll leave it up to the cars to actually show the results. So, let's grab the Koenigsegg. Now, keep in mind, it is wintertime, so traction will be at quite a premium, as you could see. Spinning all over the place. Doesn't make it any less fun to drive, though. It just immediately comes out. There's really no, oh my god, no real variation between, like, when the boost comes on in this car, you just might as well hold on. These cars have always had something special about them, though. There's always been just a cool spark to these Koenigsegg's. There really has. And you know what's also cool about them? You can actually maintain a slide fairly easily in one of these. I mean, and you're dealing with a mid-engine car, but still, it's really predictable, actually. You just have to kind of modulate the power because there's so much of it that it sometimes becomes almost, I wouldn't say pointless, but it's almost like you just have to constantly be modulating the throttle if you're in any sort of cold or wet conditions. So, we're not going to launch control because there's no point. It'll just blow the tires off. I'm just going to ease it off the line in second, and go. Come on. Oh my god, we're already over 160, 170, 180. Oh my god. It's so fast. So yeah, 235.7 miles an hour. There's no way that an NA GT3RS is going to get to that. There's no way. I mean, when I was first requested to do this race, I wasn't sure if the person that requested it knew what the GT3RS was going to be in for, but I decided to go ahead and do the race anyway because I was like, you know what? Let's at least see how close a fully built NA GT3RS can get, and hello, X5. You came out of nowhere. But without any further ado, let's see how close a stock GT3RS can get to that 235 mile an hour trap speed, and then we'll see how close it can get once it's modified. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a GT3RS. These cars sound so good. They sound so good on the downshifts, too. And they will rotate for you if you want them to. God, it sounds so good. And it's so fast for what it is. So fast for what it is. I mean, yeah, Koenigsegg's are cool, but if we're talking about cars that I would have in real life, oh my god, I would have an RS. Even over a Koenigsegg, I would still have a GT3RS, just because it's so much of a driver's car. But I don't know how close it's going to get to that speed stock, but I'm going to do launch control on this one. Let's say 4,000 RPM, and 3, 2, 1, go. Actually hooked pretty well considering how cold and wet it is outside right now. It's not going to be anywhere close because we were over 200 in the Koenigsegg by this point. Okay, 177 stock versus 235 stock. So what we're going to do is build this car's engine NA, fully build it NA, see how close it can get to the 235, and then we might boost it. If we don't get close at all, we might boost it later and see what we can do with it. All right, straight to the engine stuff. So there's not too much they let you do on the 2019 car, but fully built NA will give us, let's see, a lot of those gains are going to be from the cams, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, we got 84 horsepower out of the cams. All right, so fully built NA, we are making a very healthy 775 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. That's NA. So if we were to, let's see, do we have a boost option? We do. So we could strap twin turbos to it, but we're not going to do that yet because I want to see what it will do NA before we touch the turbos. Now, let's see. Make any wing adjustments? So we can do the adjustable Forza wing, but I kind of almost feel bad taking the Porsche wing off. I really do. The Porsche wing just looks so right on the car that I would feel, like I said, I would just feel bad taking it off. And I think we're on race tires already. I mean, well, Horizon race compounds. We're on snow compounds, right? Well, actually, no. No. Yeah, okay, no, we're not on the snow compounds right now. We are on the race compounds, though. Let's do full width just to cover our bases. We're on a 325 now. We're going to go to a 345, which is insane. And let's see. We'll actually make it look like we're running wider tires. God, that's like perfectly flush with the fender line. That looks so good. So good. It would probably rub in real life, but this is Forza, so we don't have to deal with that. So let's head back to the highway now with a fully built NA car and see how close we can get to that 235. I don't know if we're going to crack 200. I'm really hoping we do, but only a test will tell. Well, that livened it up. Holy crap! And that response is instant, too, with the NA power. What's the exact number we're revving to? I'm going to pull up the telemetry and see what the exact number is that we're revving to, because it's somewhere in the 9,500 neighborhood. 9,700 RPM. That is ridiculous. 9,700 RPM. I couldn't even imagine going to 9,700 in one of these for real. That's insane. And it could still drift. In fact, it's actually a little bit easier now since we have the extra power. But man, it's still willing to just like spin up those 345s in the back. And it's super predictable too. All right, I'm going to say I'm going to launch it in second this time. But we're still going to do a launch control start. A little bit lower in the RPM range, like 3,500-ish, 3,600 RPM. 3, 2, 1, go! I don't know if that was more effective than launching in first or not, but we'll see. Oh, well, maybe crack 200. Okay, so 203, fully built, naturally aspirated. We're getting closer to that Koenigsegg, which again was 235 stock. This is fully built NA, doing 203. So I'm actually kind of hopeful for getting somewhat close to the Koenigsegg with a couple of turbos strapped to this car. So we've got one more test, and that's heading back to the garage, strapping a pair of turbos on it, and seeing what it can do. Now it's time to basically throw all caution to the wind. Twin turbos going on, and then upgrading them to race turbos, and then adding the race intercooler and everything else that comes with it. And that's going to give us 937 horsepower. So we're closing in on the 1,000 horsepower mark now. And I'm going to see about doing a couple of other things, like, for example, a race weight reduction, which brings us down to 2,943 pounds, and not rally suspension. Okay, we don't need that. But I wonder about... Yeah, I'm just going to go nuts with it. Race gearbox, and race diff, race driveline, just fully done, everything done, and I'm just going to go ahead and run it just as it is. Over 900 horsepower now. I don't know if we're going to quite beat the Koenigsegg, but I sure as hell hope we get close. Well, it gets traction. And my God, is it fast. Woo-hoo! The acceleration still isn't quite as ferocious as the Koenigsegg, but yeah, it's up there. God, it's so fast. It's easy to rotate, that's for sure. It loves to hang out right on the edge of oversteer, like right on the edge. All right, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a second gear launch for you at probably. God, I wonder how many pounds of boost we're running. So gonna launch. Oh wow, it doesn't. So it doesn't really build any boost until higher up in the rev range because we're only making 2.4 pounds at 3,700 RPM. So 3, 2, 1, launch. Little bit of wow. Okay, Mini. Cutting right in front of me, literally right when I launched. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'll let them go. There's 3,700 RPM, and I'm basically going to launch and then go half throttle and try to modulate it off the line. And go. That wasn't bad. For something that's not a drag car, it gets out of the hole really cleanly. Boom, 218.6 miles an hour, and that's fully built with twin turbos. So it couldn't quite beat the Koenigsegg, but damn, it put up a hell of a fight. It really, really did. And you know what I was more impressed with than anything else? The speed that it was able to put down fully built NA and how controllable it still was at that power level. So I think that was my favorite configuration of the car, was the fully built NA. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave your suggestions in the comments below, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.